Now it's my pleasure to introduce Jean de la Verpilliere. I get this right. Verpilliere.
Yes.
Right. People always have problems with my last name, so I apologize. Well, John is going to be talking about Echion. The title of his talk is "Partner and Conquer: Echion's Anode Commercialization Journey." Just a brief bio of Jean. He's the CEO of Echion Technologies. He's a co-founder as well. Prior to co-founding Echion, John was at the University of Cambridge, NanoDTC, translational fellow, bridging the gap between academia and businesses. Following his graduate studies in Ecole Centrale Paris, France, he investigated novel battery materials during his PhD at the University of Cambridge in the engineering department. Jean is a recipient of multiple scientific and business awards, including Forbes 30 Under 30 Europe list. So, John, I'm looking forward to your talk. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Manish. Hi, everyone. So, as Manish said, Echion Technologies is a battery materials developer and producer. We focus on anode material for super fast charging batteries based on mixed niobium oxide. So the focus of this talk today is about the journey of Echion. Reid Hoffman, the co-founder of LinkedIn, often says that starting a startup company is like jumping off a cliff and assembling a plane on the way down. So I really like this quote because I think it captures the story of Echion really well, and that's today I want to tell you how we're building this plane and how we're flying it at Echion. So I'll start by introducing Echion, and then there will be a theme running through my talk, which is the theme of partnering. Building a plane is a very difficult thing to do, and you want to partner with people to build it faster and better. So we'll look at how we partner to understand the market, to fast track innovation, and to grow the market. Right, first a bit of background about Echion. So we develop and commercialized anode materials for super fast charging lithium-ion battery. Our technology is based on mixed niobium oxide materials. So mixed niobium oxide materials, it's a very large family of materials invented in the 1980s in their use for lithium-ion batteries, rediscovered in the early 2010s with titanium niobium system or tungsten niobium system. This is where our expertise is, in this very large space of mixed niobium oxides. We've developed a lot of IP and a lot of experience, which enables us to tailor fast charging material solutions to the needs of our customers. So if I look into Echion's capabilities, we have crystal engineering and particle engineering capabilities. We've tested more than 500 different material compositions in the last 12 months. We have cell capabilities. We are not a cell manufacturer, but we build commercial format cells as a demonstrator to prove our long-term value to our customers. A word about Echion team. We have a team of 22 employees today. This really enables us, the technical excellence of this team enables us to support our customers during their material trials, during their material evaluation, to guide them and to help them build the best cells and the best product with our materials. We're lucky to have our own facilities just outside of Cambridge, UK, who are COVID safe, and we haven't really been affected at all by the virus. We're lucky in that. I'll talk a lot about our industrial partners today, but we also have, of course, academic collaborations through our roots at the Cambridge University Engineering Department, of course, but also in other universities such as Birmingham universities. So overall, these capabilities enable us to be commercially minded, to understand our customers, and understand and help them to differentiate in large, high added value markets, which require fast charging batteries. Right. This is what the technology looks like. On the graph on the left, you have energy density on the y-axis and the maximum charge rate on the x-axis. And you have ECA 1, 2, and 3, which are the three main families of Echion anode materials. And you can see that all of these material outperform competition in terms of that trade-off between energy density and charge rate. No other material can have such a high energy density and charge as fast at the same time as Echion's material. Other features that are important are the durability, the very high cycle life of these materials, their inherent safety, and the cost benefits that they give to our customers at the cell level and at the application level. This is a very high-level overview. If you are a customer and you want to know more, we have lots and lots of data to share. We're very transparent. We're easy to work with. We'll share it. So please get in touch. Right. Good capabilities, great product. How do we sell it? So Echion, our direct customers are cell manufacturers. We provide them with materials, and we provide them with know-how and IP to best integrate these materials into cells. But that's not the only thing that we do. We work really across the entire supply chain to drive demand for our technology. We work with end users. For instance, we have a long-standing partnership with Vantage Power, part of the Atlassian Transmission Group, who manufacture powertrains for electric buses and trucks. So we work with Vantage Power to understand what the market requirements are. They test our cells, they give us feedback, which is now very promising. And overall, this generates demand for our technology. As I've said, we work a lot with cell manufacturers who are direct customers. One public partnership we have at the cell level is with Kinetic in the UK. Kinetic, who is developing an ultra fast charge cell based on our materials. And we work also with battery materials producer. So I'll come back to it in a minute, but we believe that in order to penetrate very large markets, startups like Echion need to partner with established battery materials producers to reach these large markets. One example of that, which is now public, is the collaboration we have with Johnson Matthey in the UK. Johnson Matthey is a world-leading battery materials producer, and we're working together to roadmap the joint commercialization of Echion anode materials. And of course, they're raw material suppliers. This is a picture of CBMM's niobium mine here. So all these partnerships, which we've formed along the years, have enabled us to develop quite a mature offering in terms of scale up. So we routinely supply multiple kilogram batches to our customers for evaluation. We're making very good progress on our first multi-100 kilo batch of material, which we'll have ready by early next year to fulfill customer demand. We're very mature in terms of freedom to operate and IP, and we're able to demonstrate that we have it. And we are also very mature in terms of really nuanced understanding of the cost and performance requirements of our solutions, and that's what's enabling us to reach the market now. Right. So that's gave you an overview of Echion. Now I'd like to discuss with you some aspects that have helped us get there and will help us progress further. The first thing we had to do when we started Echion in 2017 was to understand the market, and it's a very difficult thing to do, because what you're fighting essentially is what's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a psychological effect which essentially says that when you don't know very much, you can be overconfident, and that's a dangerous place to be. And when you start a company, it's new, and even if you have experience in the field, no one knows your product, no one knows your market, you know nothing. We reached our Mount Stupid peak in 2017 when we released our first large pouch cell. We were very excited with this pouch cell, but we quickly realized that it wasn't really what the market wanted. The feedback was, so what? So we plunged into the valley of despair, but thanks to all the partnerships that we have developed, we've been able to climb back into the slope of enlightenment where we hopefully are now. So it's really this refining of the product market fit, which enables the startups to progress and understand the market. At first, you understand some very basic requirements of the technology, but then when you iterate, you progress, and you end up with very nuanced and complex requirements that you can understand. So that's hugely beneficial to startup companies. It's the only way to go. But it also provides benefits to established companies who help give this feedback. One benefit is that it enables them to stay on top of new technology developments that they may not be aware of. And one thing as well is once a trust relationship is built with a very early stage startup, it's more likely to share more in terms of know-how and results than an established company. So it's an occasion for these established companies to learn about a new field and develop their expertise. Right. Once you understand the market, you want to develop a product, and that is, I will argue, something startups can be really good at. We built Echion as a machine to innovate. Really, we've tested 10,000 cells in the last 12 months. We have a very fast feedback loop between our technical, commercial, and operational teams who are all focused to deliver long-term value to our partners. You might argue that the few million pounds and the 20 people that have worked on the Echion technology in the last 3 years is not very much compared to the resources or the budget of large companies. But the thing is, large companies rarely have this incentive to focus all these efforts into disruptive technologies. Large companies are extremely good at incrementally improving established technologies, and really that's where the incentives lie. Disruptive technology it's not a choice for a startup. It's the only way to be, and you have to focus all efforts, all teams on one single disruptive technology, and that's why you can be fast and win over large companies as a startup. So I think it's in the ecosystem of startup and large company. It's a very good balance, if you like. Startups like Echion are here to take difficult disruptive technology and de-risk them to a point where large established companies can start exploiting them, and I think that can work really well. Right. So we've understood the market, we've developed a product. How do you sell it? So you might say that the current climate is very good in the battery industry. There's a huge demand. It's a very buoyant market. There are incredible shifts that are happening all across the market, and that's good in that it gives incentives to large companies to become early adopters for new technologies, early adopters who want to develop a first mover advantage by trying a disruptive technology like Echion's. So that's good for us. However, the battery industry remains a very challenging, difficult environment for a startup. There are a very long time to market. It's a very cost-driven industry. It's very competitive. So if you really want to go beyond the early adopters and reach the early majority, the very large markets who wants full solutions, fully developed, I would argue that most startups can't do that. There's a chasm, famous business book, which you need to cross to do that. And I would argue that startups can't do that on their own. And that's why startups need to partners with large companies to do that. For instance, a large car manufacturer, they will not want a small startup like Echion directly in their supply chain. They'll want a Johnson Matthey in their supply chain, and that's why Echion, for instance, is working with companies like Johnson Matthey to reach this large market. And we can do that thanks to a flexible business model. So to conclude, I think I've shown you today how we jumped from a cliff in 2017, how we've built a nice plane. We're still building it, and we are learning to fly it. So I'd like to now invite you to fly this plane with us. Join us to bring super fast charging batteries to mass markets. We work with materials producers, we work with cell manufacturers, and we work with end users all over the world. So please get in touch. You can reach out through our website. We'll discuss your requirements, and we can get you your evaluation kit, which you see pictured on the right. Thanks very much for your attention, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Great. Thank you very much, Jean. That was a really interesting and fascinating talk.